Hi everybody, we're here with a general reading. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm seeing somebody come through and pass on information, but I'm seeing you be kind of in your head about this. It's like maybe you're worried about what this person is going to say. Maybe you don't feel prepared, or maybe it's just like the anxiety of the moment where it's like, who knows what could happen in this situation, or who knows what this person could say. Maybe also because of the way that things had left off when you last spoke with them. Starting off with the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles feels like an ideal space. You feel like you have the things that you need. There's a sense of safety and security, not really wanting for anything. Or are you? Maybe you feel like something's missing. You may be feeling a bit disconnected emotionally, energetically. It's like on one hand you have certain things, on the other hand there may be something that you feel kind of cut off from. But this can be a more subtle energy that you're feeling. I am seeing an opportunity come up for you. Something that you would spend some time considering. This is going to be about a new chapter. What the idea is of this is that even though it hasn't come through, there's going to be an opportunity. But I'm seeing you had been maybe doubtful of this because you had been being kept in the dark. I'm seeing you be in a space where you're like, yeah, maybe not feeling like this thing would happen. And it's like right until it surfaces, you may kind of be in that space where even if you don't really understand why, or it may be like a more subtle or subconscious feeling that you may have not been feeling completely hopeful about a situation, or maybe completely like satisfied even with the way that something was going. I do get the sense, like with the Ten of Pentacles and the Five of Swords, it's a sense of like, I have these things, I even can have like these material things that I want, and at the same time I'm feeling disconnected, or I'm feeling isolated in some way, or I'm still like being really hard on myself. It can be like I have everything and it still doesn't feel like it's enough. Like it's never going to feel like it's enough because there's something deeper going on. There's something psychologically going on here. And this can definitely be like a critical, internalized voice that you're experiencing. So then I'm seeing something else happen over here. I'm seeing an opportunity that becomes available to you. This is something that you'd feel excited about. I'm seeing that it looks like somebody is going to be coming in and bringing the news for you. And this also seems like something that you had hoped would materialize. I'm looking at both the Ace of Wands and also the Ace of Pentacles. And sandwiched between, we are looking at the Knight of Swords. So it's like somebody bearing good news, coming in, letting you know something's going on. It seems to like you're kind of dealing with your own stuff when this happens. And this may kind of bring you out of yourself. It may feel... I'm seeing this be good news, okay? This is something that you would definitely feel excited about. This would feel like refreshing and new. There's a focus on like new beginnings and things like that with the aces. Maybe a new project for some of you, something to spend your time doing, something that you can engage in. I do get the feeling as well with the Ace of Pentacles, like this may finally be the materialization of something that you had wanted, of something that you had been waiting on, but you could have been waiting to hear. And as I said before, like you may feel very caught up in stuff personally that's going on for you, and maybe in a spot where you feel like kind of uncomfortable or disconnected, or like, why am I not feeling more maybe present or like happy, or like, why isn't this enough for me, or like, why can't I just be happy for myself, whatever this is that you have going on. And like, what is the problem really? And again, I get this sense of whatever news this is that's coming in, this feels like something that's going to kind of like get you outside of yourself, really change frames for you, which I'm seeing is going to feel helpful for sure. Alright, I'm seeing there's a message that's coming through, but I'm seeing something that you don't feel totally trusting of. But is this because you don't trust yourself, or because you don't trust this person? There's something about a message, but there's also something about feeling something is cryptic or not completely transparent, and then I'm seeing something kind of get cut off because of that. It's like maybe you felt that when somebody was communicating with you. This could also be a space of you like not really trusting yourself. If it's that, if it's not that, you could have had somebody coming through that was talking to you and you being like, what do they want from me? Something like that. You see, like somebody coming through and feeling like suspicious of their motives and like, are they really being honest with me? Things like that. But then to have the Four of Swords is like taking a break from that. Taking a break because you feel kind of taxed mentally. Maybe you feel like something wasn't making complete sense. I'm seeing it seems like the challenge is for you to pull away from something that maybe seems out of alignment. Also to see the truth too, it seems too. Well, with the Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck, you may know the truth, but maybe don't want to. Is usually the feeling. Like the Nine of Wands is you feeling maybe blocked from something, or like there's a wall there. But having the Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck, it's kind of like you may know the truth about a situation, but you may not want to. And so you could be telling yourself like, maybe it's not true. Maybe I don't really know. Maybe my intuition isn't right. Leo just popped out. That felt very purposeful. Venus. Leo Venus. Ace of Swords. I think that that's exactly spot on. Maybe something you want to look into further. Okay. Over the Four of Swords and the Nine of Wands, we have the Strength card. What this means is that it may not be the easiest, this may not be the easiest situation for you to pull away from. However, you're in a space where you recognize, when you really get in touch with yourself, you recognize you need a break from something, you need to rest, you need to recharge. This would be the most empowering move for you to make. And the challenge right here is like, am I going to show myself that I'm strong enough to really show up and do what I need to do for myself and prioritize myself here within this situation? Because now I see what I need to do. Now I know. Ooh. There's also something about like somebody playing around. The way that somebody does things may actually be conflicting with your morals or your values. Pisces and Leo and Venus I'm seeing here. But the Leo Venus feels very solid, so I would, it seems like a Leo Venus is definitely involved in this. The Pisces energy seems like it's a separate placement. So there's potential for you to get together with someone. I'm seeing that be sort of an option here. But you may not feel trusting of this person. What's going to help you is to really ask yourself to think about what you need and also move towards what you feel like is inspiring you. What is speaking to you? What is calling you? What is like magnetizing you right now? Like, what do you want to move towards? And to really ask yourself that. Like, go towards what you want, what you feel passionately about. Like, what is sparking something for you? And follow that lead. There may be something that you decide to work on. Actually, there could be like a new activity, a new project, something like that. It looks like something that you're doing that is going to keep you interested, engaged, and busy. But not only for the sake of being busy, this is something genuinely that you are interested in being involved in, is the direction that you're going in. And well, I'm seeing too your guide saying that this is going to be helpful for you because you're going to feel motivated. Okay? I just want to switch some things around and see. Yeah, if somebody's coming through and you don't feel trusting of them, pay attention, but you also want to make sure that you're not projecting onto this person. Tricky. I'm seeing a situation where it's hard to tell. It's like, is this my energy? Is this your energy? Whose energy is this? What is definitely going to be helpful is like making sure that you're checking your ego. If you know that you're like not motivated by the ego space, you're going to be able to clearly read what it is that's going on. But if you're in any way like judging or your defenses are popping up, because it's not like, oh, the ego is doing this and the ego is bad. No, it's not like that. It's like if your ego is popping up, it's to protect you, but it can sometimes like skew how you're seeing things, where you may not see something accurately, because the ego can be like, that person is you can like project and perceive things that are happening that may not actually be happening, okay? You can perceive threats that may not actually be a threat. Because when you think about it, really, like, your ego is a ride or die, but at the same time, it can give you like well-intended bad advice, you know? And that's why you need to be aware of it. Because sometimes it will have you a little bit out of touch. And that's just where you want to be, like, mindful. Like, if somebody's coming through and you're like perceiving them as a threat, is it because you don't want to admit that like you're wrong with this situation, and that maybe this person is going to like teach you something and benefit you, but you're scared to change because that feels threatening to you? Or is something really off with this person, and you really don't feel trusting of them, and it's totally accurate for you to be in a space where like something feels off and you're just picking up on whatever it is that's an issue that's happening, picking up on this person's energy and them like not being honest. See, but let's rewind backwards. It's like this: when this person comes through, you could be in a space where you're like, am I suspicious of them because they're being dishonest with me and that's what I'm picking up on? Or am I paranoid? And it's being able to tell the difference between the two. I do definitely get something being awry here. But to have the moon in the Five of Swords could definitely be a subconscious energy that's hard to bring up to the front. It just depends on like how honest you're being with yourself. Because if you know that you're being totally honest with yourself and you're able to like admit if you're wrong, or like if you're working from an ego space or whatever, it's going to be easier to tell. Like, once we've worked with the ego to understand it and fully bring the light to it, the consciousness, the awareness, we then like stop projecting onto other people because we can see what's going on with them clearly. It's like letting the water run clear, because all of the filtration kind of comes off of it. And so the more clearly, this is the point where we're getting to, the more clearly you are seeing yourself in this situation, the more clearly you're going to be able to see the other person. However, if you're still in a space where you are not being honest with yourself about yourself, then there's a very slim chance you're going to be able to accurately read this person. So that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. To go over the signs again, I'm looking at Pisces and I'm looking at Leo, Venus. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.